All right, everybody, welcome to the beta testing for Zapier, the Client Dispute Manager. So what I'm going to do is just walk you through some steps that you need to do or get ready in order to test this connection with Client Dispute Manager. Now the Zaps are fully ready. We got actions and we have triggers that are ready for testing. So let me show you exactly how this is going to work, and then you would follow this video to set up your Zaps. Now, if you face any problems with your Zaps, connecting your Zaps with your third-party program, here's what we ask. During this beta testing version, we ask that you take a screenshot of the problem that you're having and you send us a support ticket along with the screenshot. That's the only way we're going to be able to know the problem that you're having with the Zap. All right, so it's very important that you take a screenshot of the error that you get and you send that over to us along with the problem. And also you're gonna have to send us your Zapier login credentials so we can take a look at your Zapier account at the same time. Okay, so we're gonna need a screenshot and explain your problem, and we're also going to need a Zapier account. We're going to need your login credentials for your Zapier account. All right, so what's going to happen is that you're going to get an invite link, and this is the invite link right here, what you see. And when you get the invite link, it's going to say right here, it's going to say log in to accept invite if you already have a login, or it's going to say sign up to accept invite. So if you don't have a Zapier account, then you sign up here. Okay, you sign up here if you don't have a Zapier account. But if you already have a Zapier account, let's go ahead and click on log in to accept invite. So I'm going to go ahead and click that right now. Okay, so as you can see, I am now logged in. I'm logged in with my test Zapier account. Now, to create a Zapier account, it is actually free to create a Zapier account. But I'm going to explain to you the difference between the free version and the paid version. Okay, so now what you want to do, you want to click on accept invite and build a Zap. Accept invite and build a Zap. Let's click that. All right, so right now it says create this Zap. Create this Zap. So what you want to do from here is you want to make sure you already have your other third-party company that you're going to be using to connect Zapier to. So if you're going to be doing Active Campaign, then you want to make sure you already have an Active Campaign account set up, because you're going to need the API credentials for Active Campaign when you connect Client Dispute Manager and Active Campaign together. So I'm going to go ahead and click on create this Zap. Okay, so as you can see right here, all right, as you can see right here, it took us directly to the Client Dispute Manager. So this is our platform, and what we're going to do is we have to authenticate, and we have to create the API and client ID credentials in order for Zapier to talk to the Client Dispute Manager. Okay. And what we're going to do is the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a new trigger, and our trigger is going to be a new client, right? So what happens is, say for example, a new client comes into the Client Dispute Manager. It's going to trigger that client's information, and that client information is going to be sent over to Active Campaign. And I'm going to show you exactly, I'm going to walk through this. I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to do that. So anytime a new client comes into the Client Dispute Manager, anytime a new client comes into the Client Dispute Manager, the trigger is going to trigger and send over the new client's information, like their first name, last name, and email address, over to Active Campaign. So that is the trigger. All right, that's what's going to happen. So the first thing we need to do, and let's click on new client, let's click on save and continue. All right, so right here it says connect an account. And now we need to go into the software and get our client ID and API. So we're going to do that now before we connect here. So let's go into the software and let's go over to settings. Let's go to account settings. And right here, let's click on create Zapier credentials. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create the keys, but then I'm going to blur out the keys because so you can't see them, because you know the API keys are very unique to each one of us. So I'm going to create the keys, and then once I get the keys and insert it, I'll show you how it works. So you go ahead and click on create new key. This is very straightforward and straight to the point. And when you click on create new keys, you're going to have an API key and a client secret key. So you're going to have an API key, a client secret key. You're going to grab the API key and the client secret key, and you're going to come over here, and when it says connect account, you're going to put your API key in here, and you're going to put your secret key in here. All right, you're going to click on yes to continue, and now Zapier can talk to the client dispute manager. Once you put the API key in and the client secret key, Zapier will be able to talk to the client dispute manager. All right, so I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. All right, perfect. So I've entered my API key, I've entered my client secret key, and now I'm going to go ahead and click on test. All right, we want to make sure that it works. Okay. All right, cool. So we got success. So what this means is that Zapier can now successfully connect to the client dispute manager. Zapier can now successfully connect to the client dispute manager. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and click on save and continue. All right. So it says make sure you have at least one recent client created. All right. So go ahead and click on fetch and continue. All right. So test successfully. All right. All right. You can view your client to make sure everything looks okay. So what Zapier is saying is that they're going to pull some sample data from the software as a sample, and then if we're connecting ActiveCampaign, we're going to send that sample data over to ActiveCampaign to make sure that the connection is good and to make sure that the triggers are working, right? So let's go ahead and click on view your client. All right, so it says almost finished here. It says please check the following. Your Zap currently lacks an action step. Add one now. All right, so now the action step is basically connecting ActiveCampaign. So now we want to add ActiveCampaign. So we want to go ahead and click on that. And let's go ahead and click on ActiveCampaign. And what we want to do is anytime we add a new lead into the software, it'll trigger and it'll send over that new lead's information, like their first name, their last name, and their email address. And it depends on the mapping that we do here. So we want a new field or a new contact to be created in ActiveCampaign when we do that. So let's click there. Let's go ahead and save and continue. And now we already have an ActiveCampaign account here. So let's test it to see if it's working. If not, we have to connect a new ActiveCampaign account by adding our ActiveCampaign API and transaction key. Okay, and you would get that information from ActiveCampaign. So let's go ahead and click on test, see if this is working. All right, so now we don't have to reconnect ActiveCampaign because we've done this test before and it's working. So all we need to do is go ahead and click on save and continue. All right, so this is where the mapping comes in. So this is the requirement. So let's pick our list. So this is our list in ActiveCampaign. So you have to set this up actually in ActiveCampaign. This is the third party now. This has nothing to do with the client dispute manager. You have to go into your ActiveCampaign account or your Aweber account or whatever ConvertKit you're using, and you got to set up your list, your email list. So email required. So we're going to say, let's go down here to the email. And then we're going to say first name. Okay, last name. Okay, full name is optional. Phone number we're going to leave blank. So you're going to leave all that blank, and let's click on continue. All right, so we got the list, we got the email address, first name, last name, and let's click on send test ActiveCampaign. So now it's sending a test to ActiveCampaign to make sure it's working successfully. Okay, it says test was successful. All right, so basically what we did, Zapier sent a test of ActiveCampaign to make sure it's working properly. So whenever a new lead comes into the software, it's going to trigger my first name, my last name, and also my email address. That email will populate, my first name and last name will populate over in ActiveCampaign. So now that's it. So all you need to do is click on finish and turn on your Zap. All right, so that's really it. That is how you connect a Zap from the very beginning to the end, and it's that simple. It took about 11 minutes to do that, but you have to set up your third-party program first before you can connect it. So you're going to need your either API, or you're going to need whatever your third party is asking you for in order to connect to Zapier. All right, I hope this video helped. Again, like I said, you can use the new client trigger, you can use the new lead trigger, and you can use the update client trigger. You can set up any triggers and connections that you want. Right now, we don't have any triggers for text messaging, so you can play around with this and you can connect real triggers because this is on the live site and it's working. Okay, take care.